Hey, Christ Fellowship Church family, Pastor Matt here. I've got I think, an exciting and good update for you all. We're going to have our next congregational meeting on January 28th. We've announced that for a few weeks now, and we hope, especially if you're a voting member, that you will make time to stick around after the service for that meeting, and then also bring a food item to share for the potluck that will happen during that meeting. This email is just to get you ready for that congregational meeting. Our agenda for that meeting is essentially discussing our current vision, touching base on our different areas of know, grow, and show. We'll talk about our focus for 2024 in the areas of hospitality and invitation. We will then give you an update on where our budget has come from in 2023 and how the budget for 2024 gets behind our vision. And then we'll talk about some leadership items, including our worship director, Seth, coming on. We will give you an update on who's kind of overseeing finances moving into this year. And then we are going to thank Lydia Barlow for her time on session, and we are going to vote on Tricia Schutzius coming on board as well. And then we'll also have some time for questions as well. So that's kind of the loose agenda of what we're going to talk about. And I want to really emphasize that our focus is vision. Our focus is what are we doing as a church? How are we serving our body and serving the community? And so that's where we want to spend the bulk of our time reflecting on and discussing. Now, in this email, what you're going to see are two things, I believe. The first is that you're going to see the slides that I'm going to share at the congregational meeting regarding hospitality and invitation, the things that we want to do this year. And then secondly, you're going to see the budget for 2024. I want to highlight a few things about the budget. The first one is just to praise God, and we'll talk more about this at the congregational meeting. We broke even last year, and that might not seem like a big accomplishment, but if you remember a year ago, we thought we were going to be deep in the red at the end of the year, and through the CDC's growth, through generous tithing, through cutbacks in different areas, we've broken even, and so we praise God for that. But we're sending out the budget so that you can look at it prior to the congregational meeting. In addition to seeing that it is, we've broken even last year, you'll see that our expectation for tithing for 2024 is simultaneously a combination of a few things. First is that it takes into account all of the things that we're hoping to do this year and funds those. Secondly, it takes into account the fact that we have lost some tithers from last year. We're also planning to gain a few more folks into our church as well. And then it also accounts for us as the church paying for 30% of our shared expenses, while the CDC will pay for 70% of the shared expenses. In the budget, you'll see kind of the church expenses that are unique to the church. You'll see the shared expenses. You'll see the bottom line for the CDC from 2023, but you won't see the details of the CDC budget right there. The advisory team is working on that. If you have questions on that, we can point you to the folks that you need to talk to. But we just wanted to give you what was relevant. So take a look at the budget. And here's what I want to say for the weeks leading up to the congregational meeting. You've been given time, I think it's maybe 2.5 weeks out, we announced that Tricia was going to come on as our next nominee for session. You've had and still have time to email her, call her, discuss anything you want to discuss with her before voting on her on the 28th. And we want to do the same thing with the budget. Again, our focus for the meeting is really to hit the vision and hit what are we doing collectively as a body. And so we don't want to get bogged down in endless budget conversation. And so starting now, you have the budget. You have a week and a half to ask whatever questions you would like to ask. And here's how that's going to work. You can talk with any member of session that you want, but I'm going to include Paula Hoover's email in this email because she's probably the best person to chat with. You can email her, reach out to her, talk with her on a Sunday, whenever you want. This coming Sunday, Jeremy and Paula are going to wait after the service and stick around for maybe 30 minutes and field any questions that you have. They will have physical copies of the budget as well. And then, yeah, just in addition to that, we are going to try to make ourselves as available as possible to discuss the budget. We just feel like, we want to, again, emphasize vision at the congregational meeting and not get bogged down in numbers. but also we just don't feel like that is the best place to talk about the budget. One-on-one conversation, we can just explain things so much more clearly if you have questions. And so our plan for the congregational meeting is we're going to go through that whole agenda that I've laid out, and then we're going to just vote outright for Tricia and vote for the budget and the vision. We're going to reserve the question time at the end to be about vision, kind of big picture, where are we going, where are we at? But our plan is to not focus on budget, but instead to leave that for kind of one-on-one conversation where you have questions on that. So without making this video too much longer, that's kind of the highlights. I'm really excited about the stuff we're going to share at the congregational meeting. We're going to hear from some great people that have come on board. We're going to have some excitement regarding the vision and I think some good items from our budget. So if you have questions, reach out to an elder, specifically Paula if you've got budget questions, and we hope to see you on the 28th. Take care.